Hello everybody, welcome back. So I said in our last video that I needed to build a house, and it's really time for me to get cracking on that. I also said that I'd look around for some potential base locations, and I've done that. As it turns out, it's right here. Well, not exactly where I'm standing, but right in this area. Now, I normally do my own base design, but as I was looking around for some other stuff, I stumbled across a base design by Avomance that I thought would look perfect in this area. Now, I've mentioned Avo in some of my other videos, and I'm definitely a big fan of his, so if you haven't checked him out yet, by all means, go do that. He'll show you how to make some fantastic bases as well as some very helpful farms, and, well, pretty much anything else Minecraft related. I'll make sure that I link his site in the description below. So for my base, I'm going to be taking one of his designs, a 25 by 25 block base, and building that just on the other side of the tree farm. I'll be adding my own touches, of course, but the basic design will be his. To do that, though, I'm going to have to start out with a bit of terraforming. There's some hills and trees over there that are just going to have to come out in order to get this looking the way that I want, so don't you go anywhere. We're going to start that right on the other side of the intro. Okay, so this is the basic area where I want the base to go. And as you can see, it's not exactly ready for construction. There's some drowned over here that have to die, and there's some hills and trees that have to come out of here. So let me get this cleared out, and we'll meet back here when I'm finished. So I've cleared out this whole area, and I've made it a little bit larger than 25 blocks square, but not by much. I want some pathways along the side so that I can easily get back to the farms and the mining cave, but I don't really want it to be too big. Chopping down all those trees has given me a fair amount of leaves and wood, but I'll need some glass for the windows, so I'll need to gather up some sand. Luckily, there's a desert right across the bay, so that part should be easy. But I'll also need a fair amount of spruce for the walls and some blackstone for, well, I'll just let that part be a surprise. Now, I'm going to have to find and gather all of those materials before I really start building. But let's lay out the foundation first. This base is 25 blocks wide by 25 blocks long, so we're going to need to count it out. Okay, so I was thinking, well, actually, before I do that, let me get some more wood because I'm going to need some of that. I was thinking that it would start right about here in this corner. That seems to be just about right based on where things are. Now, like I said, it's 25 blocks wide, so the way that this is going to work is it'll be one block followed by 5 blocks, and then that'll be number 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if I do that 4 times, that'll be 5 groups of 5 blocks with 5 more blocks around, just basically surrounding each segment. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So right here. Right now we need to do that again in the other direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You'll see that brings me up pretty close to this side. There's still a few blocks in between here. It may not be perfect. I may have to do a little bit more terraforming just to make sure that everything fits properly. But for now, this is the basic layout. So let me just, oops, let me just finish this up, and then we'll start building. So, that was a lot of work. At least it was for me. The basic structure of the house is now complete. The house is there, as well as the deck and the garden, and the surprise feature, the tower. I really think that kicks the whole thing up a notch. It still needs some finishing touches, though, like a chimney and a roof for the deck, but most of it's in place. Of course, with the magic of video editing, you don't have to sit through that part. Are you ready for the big reveal? I know I am. Here we go. 1, 2, 2.5, 3. Wow, what a big difference. I've added roofs for the deck and the tower. I've added the chimney to the back. I've added some simple grass paths and some bushes to surround the base. If you look closely, you might even be able to see that I touched up the pond a little bit. Leaves now wrap the roof and wind down the side of the house, giving the impression of ivy over the whole place. I've kept Avo's basic design for the outside of the base. Aside from moving a few things around like the pond and the pumpkin melon patch, it matches pretty closely with what he did. Where it changes a bit is on the inside. There, I've given it my own flair. So let's take a closer look. As we come up the front stairs, the first thing that we see is, oh, well, my dog. Hello, Mr. Dog. Good boy. I found Mr. Dog while I was gathering up wood for the base. I haven't actually come up with a name for him yet other than Mr. Dog, so if you've got some ideas, be sure to put your suggestions in the comments below. In the meantime, though, Mr. Dog can just sit here while we have a closer look around. So off to the right here, I've got a nice deck for relaxing and enjoying the view. There is a little table for your morning coffee or tea, whatever you like. There's also a small garden with potatoes and carrots so that you don't have to go too far if you need a quick snack. There's also some storage area down here. That's always convenient. Looking up at the roof, you'll see that the whole deck roof is actually made out of extinguished campfires, which I think gives it a really nice look. I've seen this technique. I used it with a few friends on Aviatopia, and I think that it looks really sharp. Of course, trying not to light myself on fire or the house, that was fun too. Coming up the stairs and through the door, we get a glimpse of the interior. Off to the right here, we have a fire roaring in the fireplace. There is a comfy sofa and chair for relaxing in those cold nights. Coming across the room here, there is a grandfather clock, so we always know what time it is. This is actually a design I got from a friend of mine. This is absolutely magpied from Raven Thought. She had this in her base on Avatopia, and I loved the way that it looked. So I tend to put this in a lot of my designs. I love this idea. Of course, I have some tables here for my various projects. Always good to have something to put your stuff on. A larger table over here with some storage underneath. Avomance actually had this in his build. He had a slightly larger table. I reduced the size a little bit just so we could have a little bit more room to move around. Off to the left here are the various workstations to do my different types of work. I might add a loom here so that I can work on some banners and things like that. As we round the corner into the hallway, you'll see that I've lined the floor with barrels and crafting tables. So there's plenty of room for the stuff that I use most often, and of course some room to work. Down here at the end of the hall is the enchanting room. This is the base of the tower. I need another layer of bookcases here so that I can get the top level of enchantments. I don't quite have the stuff for that yet, but I'll get that as soon as I have a better source of paper and leather. Coming up to the second floor, you'll see that we have my potions brewing station. I haven't collected any blaze rods yet, so I can't really make anything yet, but the area is ready. I actually stole the brewing stand as well as most of the other workstations from the abandoned village down the coast. Not that you can actually call it stealing. I mean, it is an abandoned village after all. It's not like anybody was actually using this stuff. There is an infinite water source off here to the right, so I can fill up my potion bottles. And of course, there's plenty of storage for all the supplies when I actually get around to gathering them. If we come back up the stairs here to the top of the tower, you'll see that we've got a great view. I do have my my viewing distance set up pretty high, so we can see across the way. There's the Savannah Village and the Desert Village. Off to the left here, well, if that tree wasn't there, we'd actually be able to see the ruin portal and the desert temple. Off in this direction, we have the jungle, and kind of through the trees there, you can see the frozen ocean. We have the swamp down there, and of course the abandoned village is a little bit farther down the coast from that swamp, so really nice view up here. So to continue on with the tour, let's head back downstairs. come across the room here, past the table, and up the stairs. And you will see here that there is a big room full of nothing. This is just the attic area underneath the roof. It's a nice open area. Um, I'm not really sure what to do with it yet. I could use it for storage. That would be an easy thing to do. But I'd kind of like to come up with something a little bit more creative. I need to give it some more thought. If you've got some suggestions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. I do think the zombies left a little message for us over here. Let's see, like, subscribe, ring the bell. Maybe you know what that means. Anyway, let's head back downstairs for another look outside. We get a wider view of the entire base. Overall, I have to say, I really like the way that this build turned out. I love the natural look of the leaves going up over the top of the building. I love the chimney. I think Avelments might have done a slightly better job, but I kind of like the way mine turned out too. Love the tower. Love the nether portal at the base of the tower, so I don't really have to go across the bay just to hop into the nether. Love that pumpkin and melon patch. I think it kind of really sets the whole thing off. All in all, I think this is a great way to get started on this world. So, this is my brand new base, everyone. I really hope you enjoyed watching as much as I enjoyed making it. If you did, be sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell, just like the sign said. Till next time, happy Minecrafting!